I feel like I can't properly convey my anger when I make these videos sometimes, or it's just not the mindset I'm in when I'm making them. This has nothing to do with the concept of this video. I'm just mad right now because the Giants lost to the Patriots and the Knicks lost to the Celtics. But I'm going to talk about story mode games because I watched my friend play a ton of them recently. And I honestly don't typically like these types of games enough to play them just completely on my own, but they're fun to watch when I'm watching him play, like on the side. The reason I like playing video games has always been for the competitive aspect of it, so my favorite games are typically online games, with the exception of Far Cry Primal, but that game just happens to be set in a time period that I love to learn about, and I also love all the animals in that game. And this doesn't mean I don't enjoy thought-provoking media in general or whatever, I just don't usually mix it with games. But since I've been watching my friend play all these games, I've thought more about the genre recently. So this started with Dispatch, which ended like a week ago, I think now, and everyone was playing this game. I honestly was not super tapped into the story in this game. I do know that there was some sort of love triangle going on, which seems to be a theme in these games. Anyway, it was pretty interesting and fun to watch. Also, there's like a ton of YouTubers in this game, like Moist Critical and Jacksepticeye, I think voice characters in it, which probably is part of the reason it had so much hype behind it. But the other game I want to talk about is Goodnight Universe, which was fairly short, like we finished it within one sitting. So this game is the only game of the three that I'm going to talk about in this video that doesn't really have any love interest that takes over the story. But this game was pretty cool in general. It's about this alien that gets trapped inside of a newborn baby, and you are that baby. You have psychic powers, and you can make stuff move with your mind. Eventually, you end up getting trapped by this weird billionaire guy, which, shout out to this game for portraying this dude as an absolute weirdo. I've made a video before about billionaires and how strange I think they are, and the people who made this game, I think, probably agree with me. But this game, I think you could argue, is all about humanity and how we operate, because this alien the whole time can't really wrap his mind around the unconditional love he feels for the family of this baby that he's controlling, or the unconditional love that they have for him. And another thing about these games, I don't know if I already mentioned this or not, but I think part of the reason I don't want to play them alone is because it just like enhances loneliness for some reason. And it reminds me of doing stuff by myself, which is pretty much all I do. Like, it isn't a good or a bad thing, it just reminded me that around this time last year I was like going to museums by myself and stuff, which is probably a strange thing for someone my age to be doing, but who cares, it doesn't really matter. Anyways, last game I'm going to talk about is The Wolf Among Us. This game is like 10 years old, I think, and this game I really liked. It revolves around a bunch of fairy tale characters in the first place, which is sick, and then it revolves around a murder mystery. And I didn't finish watching my friend play this game, but I'm going to watch someone on YouTube do a full playthrough for sure. So the concept is that all these fairy tale characters live in New York now and have to try and fit in with normal people. And they all live really bleak lives. It seems like everyone is super poor and half the characters are prostitutes. And this was probably my favorite out of the three. One more thing about these games is that they almost always have a dystopian feel to them, which is cool. I just think it probably says something about people who are playing video games versus people who are watching actual TV shows.